Hello and welcome to Sports Talk, a wrap-up of the spring sports season at East Brunswick High School. Hi, I'm Ken Saroka. I'm joined in studio by Frank Noppenberger, the Director of Athletics for the East Brunswick Public School System. Frank, we come to the end of the school year, come to the end of the sports season, hurrah, hurrah, and we go out on top.
Well, thank you, Ken. It's a pleasure to be here. It's always one of my favorite sports shows at the end of the year. We can talk about the banquet. It's the beginning of the fall season. It's starting graduation, the prom, and everything that goes along with it. It's a very exciting time for the kids, for the coaches, and what's equally enjoyable is when you're successful. Sam, softball, just to name a few of the outstanding performances this past spring.
And one of the things we have to talk about is to the coaches here, too. We have a couple of coaches who are retiring from their teaching roles at the high school or in the district. But we've always seemed to have that continuity with these programs, the people who come in and replace these. Like for example, with the first sport we'll talk about, softball, Reggie Carney for years. Now Kevin Brady steps in, and we don't seem to miss a beat, and we still have that continuity of having some of these coaches stay around in that second to third generation of coaching here for years and years.
Well, there's a little trivia question. There was one person in between Brady and Reggie Carney, and I'm going to quiz the audience to find out who that was, and the first group that sends me a text will give them a special EB surprise. But anyway, you're right. Absolutely, Kevin Brady. The continuity that he provides, he's been there, 12, 13 years, and we've had nothing but success. We've been Central Jersey Group 4 champs 2 of the last 3 years. Every year we seem to win a title or definitely contend for a title. And this year, Red Division champs, which is tough, especially GMC Red Division, and Central Jersey Group 4 state champs. It was just, I think we overachieved. Early in the year, it's always the case. I go down there and I watch practice, and we're throwing the ball over. We look like first year playing Little League or softball. And then by the time in the last game of the year, we're turning double plays, we're executing rundowns, slap hitting. So girls worked real hard and improved. And a lot of that had to do with Coach Brady's positive reinforcement. A big strikeout at a crucial time or an error, he's the first one over there to slap the kid on the back, don't worry about it, and talk him through it. And we did have some outstanding athletes. B.A. Highland, who may be the best pitcher in the state, she'll probably be first team All-State as a pitcher. She concluded a year, an outstanding 25 wins. So she's going to be missed. And the story with her, she pulled a Wally Pip Lou Gehrig. At the beginning of her sophomore year, she wasn't playing a lot, Ken. And now we go to this doubleheader, and we have to play Montgomery, who was a state power at the time. So Brady said, well, let me pitch this kid the second game. Well, she shut him down, maybe even no-hit him, and she never left the lineup since. So from her sophomore year to a week or so when we concluded the game, she never left. And then Saroka, her and Highland were the only ones that ever been part of a Group 4 state championship. 2 kids, both were starters on that team. Sarah will be missed. Sarah was an outstanding volleyball player and third baseman. And then Caitlin Hertel, who was a great offensive player for us, starting shortstop. She'll be back next year. There's going to be a lot of changes next year. We're losing some key people, but Brady will do his magic. The township always develops good players. We had a real good 8th grade team, so you never know.
You mentioned 25 wins the season, 25-5. You have a Red Division title, and it just seems like the momentum was building. Like you get hot at the right time, just like maybe the Los Angeles Kings. In National Hockey, just get hot at the right time and take it all the way to a Group 4, get to the Tournament of Champions, and unfortunately come up a little short there, but still an excellent season.
Well, when you get to that level, it's one play, it's one bad field, and it's an inch there, foul ball, a poor called strike. I mean, the games we lost, the last 2 games we lost, we were right in it. And with a break here and there or a timely hit. So I don't think it's anything we didn't do. I just think the competition got better. and maybe we didn't get the breaks we were getting, because I think we ran off, I don't know, maybe 20 in a row. And Brady said we were getting the breaks, But I'm confident he'll be back, and it was a real joy watching the girls this year.
Baseball team had a little bit of a struggle this year.
Well, I'm going to blame it on the AD. We had a brand new coach, Coach Kenny, Chris Kenny. He's been a teacher at the high school a good 12 years or so, I believe. And I think I overscheduled. Not too many games, but the quality. If you look at the top 20, I think there was like 5 or 6 of them that we played, including Hillsborough, who was in the Final Four. Huntington Central was in there. The final state playoffs, Hillsborough. I think next year we're going to reevaluate it. We didn't get the pitching we thought we had. But, the funny thing in baseball, we beat 3 of the top 4 schools in Central Jersey, and we took Saroka, who had 25 wins, I think. We took them to 8 innings. They beat us 1-0. So that's baseball, and but we'll be all right. But a big surprise for us was John Lonsky. He was kind of a backup catcher for us last year. He was our team MVP, and he was also led the team in hitting with 380. And John did a great thing. He wrote it today in school. He wrote a grant, and he had this little girl come in from North Jersey who lost her sister in a car accident because person in the other car was texting. So for all the school every day, the whole auditorium was filled with kids listening to this talk, this assembly on the dangers of texting, and that's to John Lonsky. So not only is he a great baseball player, but certainly a quality person because he cares that much. And then about Hayden Warren, who was our most improved athlete this year for baseball. Hayden had 1 hit this year. You know what it was?
What?
What do you think?
A grand slam?
Nah, a homer.
Okay.
I think it may have been the first pitch he saw in the last game of the year. Bing! Center field, and no doubt about it. And he came on real strong in the end. And he's going to go to Widener to play football. But I'll tell you what, I'd like him to think about throwing because he could throw the ball. So we didn't get all the wins we wanted. We had a lot of competitive games. And I know the kids learned a lot and had fun.
A lot of returning seniors next year. A lot of returning.
Not as many as you would think. No, we're gonna. Our goal next year, I hope it's going to be get around 500, qualify for the states.
Okay, we'll focus our attention now on our boys and girls lacrosse team. Girls lacrosse, a good season, I guess. I mean,
1 over 500, right? 1 over 5. I think we're 9-8. And they qualified for the states, and they had the pleasure of going up to Ridgewood, traveled 2.5 hours. But the kids went up there and relaxed, and we played one of our better games against the second best team in the state, Ridgewood. So I was happy we qualified. That was one of our goals. I'm happy that we went up there and played tough. So Coach is pleased with that also, Coach Gronsky.
One of the things I've noticed over the, I think now, 13 years that the girls lacrosse program, I remember you and I had a discussion about girls lacrosse when it was first formed. What I've noticed in the game we did here on EBTV was that there seemed to be a kind of flow, a nice rhythm. The team seemed to be not just a bunch of athletes running around, but it seemed like they had a presence, a field presence, an understanding of the game.
Absolutely, Ken. It's all from the youth and playing the kids as 9th graders. We're playing the game of lacrosse the way it's supposed to be played. We're passing, we're cutting, we're moving. We're just not letting Caitlin Park run the length of the field and barrel through everyone. But I think we're going to be even better next year. We're going to miss our goalie, Hannah Moskowitz, who was an all-conference goalie. We're going to miss her. She's been there 3 years. But we got Shannon Carney coming back, who was an outstanding athlete for us. And then we also have Carissa Smith, who's going to be our all-time leading scorer. So we have some offense coming back. The challenge is to replace the goalie. And the JVs under Coach Barbado had a good year. So I think we can contend for the GMC title next year.
Boys lacrosse had a disappointing year.
Yeah, Coach.
I've talked to the coaches and staff there.
Coach Mary's a lacrosse guy. He just loves lacrosse. He comes in every day, talks to me about this lacrosse game. Did you see this game? Talking about the NC2As. He's traveling on the weekend, and that's what we need. He really lives it, and he's got the kids believing in lacrosse and playing lacrosse all the time. And you know, we made it to the semis of the tournament, GMC tournament. We made it into the states also, and that's okay. We took some bumps this year, and again, the AD, he scheduled Westfield and Somerville and Watchung Hills and Hunterdon Central, and maybe we weren't ready for them.
But Frank, you don't improve unless you're trying against quality competition.
Yeah, I think
if you're constantly beating up on the dregs of your league, you're not going to learn.
Yeah, I think, Ken, maybe we shouldn't have meant to that 3/4 instead of the top 5.
At least from my perception of lacrosse on the boys' side in this state, there is a serious gap between the ultra elite programs, the Mountain Lakes, the Del Bartons, the Bridgewater Raritan, who won the state title, and everybody else. That doesn't seem to be, as in football or in baseball, you can always find that middle ground where you're more challenged, but you're talking about going up against the ultra elites.
And we did. We went with the Watchung Hills, like I said, in the Somerville, and that's okay. So we're going to look at our schedule again and review it. Now, John Henry Glasscock was our goalie. He's outstanding. Shane was a senior leader for us. We're going to miss him. John Krasowski and Jake Waterwitz, 2 outstanding young men. John's only a sophomore. Jake's going to be a senior. Last couple games of the year, and we wish him luck. He had just had a knee operation. Maybe we had him, it would have been a different story against Old Bridge. Who knows? Because sometimes it's the intangible a senior brings there, the leadership and the toughness, with him going down. But I think we're going to be in the thick of things next year, just like girls. And Coach Murray, there's no doubt in my mind, he's got the knowledge and enthusiasm to get it going.
Do we still have a good feeder program? Are the Blackhawks still developing that young talent?
They're outstanding, and I hear about this 7th and 8th grade team that is like super. Coach was telling me they're like 800 wins and 5 losses over the last 3 years, and maybe that's an exaggeration, but yeah, we're going to be good in the next couple of years, real good. So yes, the Blackhawks, they're doing a great job for us.
We now turn to a sport that, honestly, nobody, I guess, in East Brunswick High School goes to see. It's not something that you can just simply take a walk into the back of the building and go, and that's the golf program, boys and girls golf program. I always remember Coach Bohenning, when he was up there at the awards assembly, saying, we have a state match, and you be our first fan if you ever come out to watch us at Tamarack or, wherever they're playing.
Well, as you know, they don't allow you to even walk on the course. I can't even walk on the courts to watch. And the golf etiquette is great, and the kids kind of monitor themselves, so it's a gentleman's game. I like that. We had a down year, there's no doubt about it, but Michael Kane's a junior. He was an outstanding golfer for us. And Coach Mott, our girls in the GMC finished the 3rd, our best finish ever. We got a couple young girls that are going to help the team out. So we're going to be okay, boys and girls golf. Our community's maybe built for it. And they just got to play more, especially the girls. But Michael Kane and Austin Westbrook. Austin was a senior. He did a great job for us this year. And the girls, we got Lindsay Gatton, who was a senior. She led it for 4 years, our first 4-year letter winner in girls golf. And then Rachita Basa-Samarian. I may not have gotten that right, but she's a freshman. She's going to be a good one by the time she graduates. And Kara Geiger is going to be another outstanding golfer for us.
In talking about the seasonal aspect of golf, it's hard to practice this game in this area, at least. We're not in Florida. We're not in California or Texas. How do these student athletes here practice? I mean, you have a limited season. You have usually the rains in April or in late March, making everything disastrous. I mean, you can't really gauge, I guess, your true golf skills with these kind of conditions.
Well, you can play. You can play in the fall. You can play in the summer. And some of the kids are taking lessons now, as a matter of fact. Oh, and I'm going to blow it. I'm going to forget her name, but she's a cheerleader, and she's also an outstanding golfer for Dina Cola. And she is doing a great job for us by taking lessons. So, yeah, there are ways to improve. And you go in the backyard and chip and putt in the living room. Mom and Dad won't mind. But there are ways. There are ways.
All right, we switch our attention now. We go indoors to the volleyball team, the boys volleyball team here. A bit of a coaching situation. that had to be addressed early in the season.
Well, I applaud Coach Strauss for stepping up and taking over for Coach Rutz, who couldn't finish the season. Something came up, and he couldn't coach for the rest of the year. And she just stepped it up. And, you know, I think we played to our potential. I think we played to where we could be. Now, speaking to the gurus of volleyball throughout the state, next year, with Danny Luong coming back and Mike Summer and Billy Fox, Owen Summer, I think we're going to be good. As a matter of fact, they're saying we're going to be top 3 or 4 next year in the state. And if they play the summer volleyball and they continue what they're doing, Coach Rutz will be back. We had a real good JV club under Coach Alexander. We're going to be all right next year.
We have now go back outside with this track. Coach Kevin McAvoy is retiring.
Oh, man.
This is going to be a hard set of shoes to fill.
Mac and I walked in the building in 1977 with our long hair and no gray hairs.
No, wait a minute. I saw the pictures. He had kind of like a curly perm.
Yeah, I had something similar, and then something happened with my hair. I don't know. I think Mr. Ambrosi did it to me. But he's going to be missed, not just because of his knowledge, but the way he attracts kids to the program. He's got that ability to be friendly with the kids, but be their coach and have their respect. He's a very popular teacher, as you know, and the kids just idolize him. But he's going out on top. He's been in the Hall of Fame. We had a good year this year with the girls. They played to their potential. Rachel Wang is a 10th grader. She's going to be one of the best by the time she graduates. Kelsey McDonald, also an underclassman, is going to be great. And Sarah Frost, our best long-distance runner. So Mac didn't leave everything bare. We've got some talent there. And but we're going to miss Coach Mack and everything he does, the intangibles.
On the boys' side, individual stories with Sam. You got to start with Sam.
Well, you can start with Sam, but I'm going to go with Donnie Urschel, who was the indoor champ. Took a second in Group 4 in Central Jersey, I should say, this year in the sprint for the 55-meter. And Alex Malvo, who's going to Rutgers to hurdle, didn't run all year. He was hurt. So there was a lot of what ifs, but absolutely. Sam, Penn champion, Penn relay champion. Yesterday he won the Tournament of Champions, 3rd time in a row. He's just a outstanding athlete, but he's a better person than athlete. And I think he's going to be the Gatorade Player of the Year in track for the entire country.
And where's he going to college?
He's going to go to the Wharton School of Business in Penn, and I know their coach just loves him. I've met him a couple of times, and he said he's their best recruit ever. And Sam's such a solid kid. Wherever he goes, he's going to be successful.
I have him in class, so yeah, I've seen that.
And all his accolades, from music to the academics to working with Buddy Ball, are well-deserved. He's a genuine great kid.
And our last sport on the list is boys tennis, where we again talk about a gentleman who is a fixture at East Brunswick High School, Bill Pellegrino.
51 years coaching, and most of the years, or years, I should say, Ken, is 2 sports. He has coached football. He has coached boys tennis, girls tennis, boys swimming, girls swimming, head coach and assistant. And one year, and I think it was my first year as head basketball coach, he coached the 8th grade team. They're undefeated, and they won their tournament. I mean, he like Mac has that charisma about him, and we're really going to miss him, especially with the tennis. You know, his knowledge of tennis, he never tried to tell everyone how much he knew. He always gave the credit to the kids. He always deflected it to them. But he was great at putting their kids in the right position and building confidence, especially in those doubles teams. And no, we didn't have the great year we wanted, but I'm not sure if we had the athletes. And it's in cycles, Ken. Sometimes you win everything with an average team because the rest of the county or the state isn't weak. This year, the county or the conference was exceptionally strong. But I failed to mention Ty Robbins, a freshman, who was our outstanding freshman athlete who runs track for us. He's going to be as good as his brother. Coach Mack just smiles when he talks about this kid's ability. But Coach Hagan and Mac, they work great with Sam and for Ty. But let's go back to Pelly. He's going to be missed. It's going to be tough replacing him. You don't want to replace a legend, but we're working on it. And Coach Pell said we're going to be real good next year.
So you have the talent coming up?
Yeah, right, exactly.
All right, we're sitting here in the studio in June, and the last week was the athletics banquet, which honors all the athletes for all the sports seasons at once. Awards given by the coaching staff for most improved, best athletes, those kind of things. A wonderful event. How many people were there? Can you
let me tell
talk a
you
little bit about that?
450 people, and all of our awards are just about all donated by the community, Board of Ed members. Dr. Magistro sponsors awards, I sponsor award, Bo, Mr. Emery, Mr. Ty, everyone, the coaches, community members, everyone gets involved. And we must have given out 300 awards, and there's scholarships, and then there's a lot of money. There's the Hoover Scholarship, which is $1,000 a year. Tony Osleff gives $1,000 a year to a kid, which turns out to be, $4,000 a year. And then there's the Big E Award, our most prestigious, that of course Sam won it, and then Patulski for the girl, Caitlin won it for the girl, and Sam won it for the boy. And then we have the outstanding junior athletes. And let me just get that straight. The junior out with Lauren Cram and Dan Lewong. You're going to be hearing about them next year. So it's a great event. 450 people, all the coaches and the parents, and I hope everyone goes away there happy. And I hope the young kids go away listening to the accolades of Sam Mattis, a 4.4 GPA, going to Penn, is in the music, works with the kids in buddy ball, or Mike Summer, who had a knee injury and started more games at basketball than anyone in East Brunswick history, and who has more wins as a starter than anyone in East Brunswick history. I mean, it's just amazing the way the coaches, what they say about their kids, and I invite anyone, anytime to come to those awards banquets, and you'll be amazed.
And you mentioned that this is not just for the seniors, the upperclassmen getting the awards, but the whole team shows up. The parents show up. I mean, this is something that's kind of a way to bring out the athletic community to I guess, was it the Chateau? It was
right, the Chateau, and we have some old-time booster clubs like Mr. and Mrs. Ranchi come up, Mr. Morrison, Mr. Manfreda. These guys were booster clubs when I was coaching, which was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then any team that wins an award, they get a plaque sponsored by the booster club. So the whole soccer team would come up, or the whole softball team, and they all get awards, a nice picture plaque. And the way we do it, Ken, if you win a state championship or the division, the booster club, the high school booster club, gives you the same plaque. Now, if your individual booster club wants to buy something like a ring or a jacket, that's up to them. But everything you win, this is what you get. And everyone seems to enjoy it, and sometimes it's a long evening, but we honor, like I said, over 200 kids.
Speaking about awards, I'm curious to know the status of the banners. When I was doing the volleyball game on EBTV, the walls had been freshly painted. And the banners with all the championship updates, division, section, state.
I was ready to put them up in the fall, and I said, wait a minute, we got like 6 banners to put up. Then I'm going to have some to put up in the winter, so I decided to leave the walls bare all year. They're updated, except for the spring sports, and that's quite a few to update, and we'll get them up there in the spring for the fall next year, including the state championship ones. And they're tough to get because they're way up high in the corner. But yes, they will be up there, and our wall of fame with all the coaches, with all the athletes, the MVPs, they're being updated too.
I think what's great about East Brunswick High School, and I've been working now for 18 years in the schools, that we don't have a lot of individual stars and celebrity type athletes coming through our high school, but there's the great stories of those teams that were there, like the first volleyball team that won the state championship, or that girls basketball team in '99. There's always a good story.
Well, the story I like saying about this time of the year was, the prom. We had, I think 2 years, maybe 3 years in a row, our boys volleyball team went to South Brunswick the night of the prom, and win the state championship. And, maybe they missed the pre-prom stuff and maybe their date was a little upset. But these guys went from South Brunswick High School in their tux with the state championship trophy and walked into the...
Now, I remember that because I was a class advisor for 2003.
And the place went crazy.
Yeah, the place went crazy. Actually, the place was going crazy as we were at the prom because people were texting back and forth. We're down 2 games to St. Joe. We're down to St. Joe's. We're doing, and then we're winning. And then all of a sudden, somebody found out.
So, but it's funny. You talk about individuals. If Sam wins the National Player of the Year, we've had 2 in the last 10, 12, 15 years. Heather O'Reilly for soccer and Sam for track. This year we'll have 3 all-state athletes. Sam, without a doubt, will be maybe the track athlete of the year. Beth Ann Highland, and the soccer kid, all-state soccer. I blew him in again. I forgot his name. But we had 3 first-team all-state kids. Shalakar, he was first-team all-state. And, some people forget about that because it's such a long season. People say, I can't even remember the soccer season. It was so long ago. We had 10 spring sports, a lot of accolades. But we have some good teams. We have some great teams. We have a lot of good athletes. But this year we had 3 exceptional athletes.
Okay, so now we're coming into the summer. You're relaxing. You have nothing to do.
Huh?
Yeah, you have nothing to do. You're just going to take it easy. You're going to enjoy the sun and the fun, right?
Well, Monday is the actual official start of out-of-season sports, where you can do whatever you want. Coaches can practice, because I know Brady met with them. I know the girls' basketball and boys' basketball coach were meeting with the kids, setting up summer league, summer camps. I know Marcus is running and conditioning with the kids. I know McKibben's got something going this weekend. So it just starts up again. It's just another cycle. It just keeps going. And to the point, Ken, it's almost like a professional sport where they do it all year long. They take a couple weeks off maybe, but they all year long. The kids were playing winter soccer, spring soccer, they're going to play summer soccer, and they're going to get ready for that fall season. And, we had all our preseason meetings about practices. For the parents out there, the football will start August 13th, and the rest of the sports will be August 15th, and it's right around the corner.
It is right around the corner. Yeah.
And then we start it up again, and, there'll be kids be smiling in that August heat, getting ready for that opening day.
All right, well, that wraps up the sports year at East Brunswick High School. We'd like to take the time to thank the East Brunswick EBTV technical crew for coming out and broadcasting 20, 30 different games. Those videos are on demand. You can go to the EBTV3 website and pick up any of the games. We'd like to thank them for coming out and their support of East Brunswick High School athletics. For Frank Noppenberger, I'm Ken Saroka. Good day.